No, you do it. You.
Gringos in the house, straight out of Hialeah, no doubt. East 10th Street where we play out. Here we bring the Miami crowd. Alex, the boy with the D. Step into rhythm, feel the heat. Street vibes mixing with the Latin tree. In our flow, the two worlds meet. East 10th Street boys bring the party. Bring the noise from Hialeah with some joy.
Drink
water like that.
Well, I'm telling you, bro. I'm focused, bro. I'm focused, man. Yeah, inside out.
You would know who I am by now. I said,
You identify as.
you know, hey. When Alex takes a shower, the dude goes for 3 hours. I mean, it's like, you know he's going to be gone for a while. You have time. Do whatever you're going to do. Go grocery shopping. Go eat dinner.
Night, Latin spice and neon lights.
All right, good evening, Miami, and welcome to a special edition of East 10th Street Boys, straight out of Hialeah. We were supposed to be a special NBA trade deadline episode, but now it's a breaking news episode. The Miami Heat finally trade Jimmy Butler. The drama, the saga is over. He has moved on to Golden State, and what is a bigger deal than most would expect, if I could just pull this up here. There's the trade details. The Warriors, Jimmy Butler traded to the Golden State Warriors. The Miami Heat get Andrew Wiggins, PJ Tucker, and a first-round pick. And now Kyle Anderson, because he was supposed to go to the Raptors, but there seems to be a hiccup there. So now we get Kyle Anderson as well. The Jazz get Dennis Schroeder, and the Pistons get Lindy Waters III, Josh Richardson, and a second-round pick. Breaking news for the Miami Heat as they are winning 95-90 against the Philadelphia 76ers. But Jimmy on his way to California. Alex, your reaction to the big breaking news, my man?
Well, it's exciting, man. I know the big fish that we were waiting for was Kevin Durant. It started picking up a little bit towards today when it came out that he was not interested in a reunion with the Warriors. So I know that's what fans were hoping for. I was excited, too, because it's KD. But this deal does fit more of our timeline. I love Andrew Wiggins as a player. He is basically Jimmy Butler younger right now. So he slides right in at a much smaller cap space. Like you mentioned, the whole Kyle Anderson situation, if we have to keep him, he's great off your bench. He provides size. He can play point. But ideally, they're trying to move him to get below the first apron, below the luxury tax, and then a bunch of things. You could become a player in the buyout market. I know they rerouted Schroeder. But realistically, I know we got PJ Tucker back, so that's a great locker room presence, toughness. You got Kevin Love as a veteran presence in the locker room. PJ Tucker has always wanted to stay in Miami. But what I love the most is the possibility of, since we acquired from the Warriors a 2025 first-round pick, which is top 10 protected, realistically, the Warriors will finish in playoff contention. I don't believe, even if they get in the lottery, hopefully, it's in the teens. So realistically, we have two possible high teens to low 20s first round pick in this draft, which is completely stacked. It's one of the best drafts in a long time. So that to me is even one of the best parts of it. And you never know, they could also use those picks to move, like we talked about before the show. So I'm just excited for mostly for the team, for the coaching staff, because it takes a toll. This situation has taken a toll. And I love Jimmy. I love everything Jimmy did for us. But we also did a lot for Jimmy. People forget about that. We gave Jimmy 2 extensions when no one wanted to give him the first one. So it's sad that it had to end this way, but we figured there was never going to be a happy ending. Honestly, no Diddy. It wasn't going to be a happy ending when that came to it. But
well, it's not. It was what was a surprise was the drama. That was the surprise.
Correct.
What was not the surprise,
was
the trade by the trade deadline. And for the reason why it was made. Remember, if before the season we had discussed this exact situation but it was more of if the Heat are out of contention, and obviously we're not going to re-sign Jimmy. I brought up possibly moving him at the deadline. We discussed that, or just letting him ride out and maybe doing a sign and trade. Then this drama starts to come up. everything through his agent first. It's any team but Miami. Then it's
Correct.
not every team. It's not this team, not that team. I just want the Suns.
Correct.
You brought up before the show, Bradley Beal.
He
Think
wasn't
about
gonna
it.
go.
The Suns, let this be a warning to not just the NBA in general, but to fans who really want this type of deals. They're like, oh, just get this guy because he's a big name, or they think he's a big name.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got this guy to no trade clause. And look how that handicapped the Suns. The Suns have Kevin Durant. They got Devin Booker. They
Correct.
got Bradley Beal.
Correct.
And look where they are. They are almost out of the play-in.
And they have to make a move. They have to.
They
make
are
a move
one
now.
game above 100 and 500.
Yeah.
They're almost out of the play-in, and that's they have the quote-unquote star power that all the fans are crying about on Twitter through this whole process. Oh, Pat Riley's never done this or that and this and that. Look what happened to the Suns. They had all that star power. Look what happened to the Brooklyn Nets when they got all their little star power. It didn't work. So let that be in there, because now, because they made that move for Bradley Beal, because they wanted to add another quote-unquote star to Phoenix, they couldn't make the deal. They couldn't. Then it got to a point where, hey man, we're not going to be able to be able to move Bradley. Bradley's not going anywhere. He doesn't go anywhere. He's sitting here, which makes sense. He has the power.
Yeah.
Trade clause. You gave him that deal. Now you're stuck with him. So then they start entertaining trading Durant, which I could understand. I didn't want to get on the hype train. Of course, deep down, I was like, oh, wait a second. I like this. I'm not against that. But, realistically, it's like, hey, guys, but that's what Phoenix had to take those calls. Phoenix had to see what they could do to better their team. And eventually, they almost made a deal with Golden State. And then people seem to forget the drama with Golden State at the end of Durant's tenure. And Durant's like, I don't want to go back there. Is Draymond Green still there? I don't want to go there. And so that kills that. So they called Miami, Golden State, and said, okay, we're going to do the deal. Now Phoenix is sitting there going, well, I guess we're stuck. And now Miami makes this deal. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to be honest with you. First off, I love the deal.
Absolutely.
First of all, I'm happy that it's over. That's the most important thing. And when Jimmy retires, I'll give him his flowers and his love. I appreciate everything he's done. I hate the way he did this at the end. I'm not a fan of the way he ended it. And so that's going to take some time to get over, But when it's all said and done, when he retires, you give him his flowers. It's all good then. But I like this move better than I like it for the Warriors. The Warriors,
absolutely.
This was a desperation move. And, to do this, and then you have to give him this extension. And you know what? Jimmy could be coming and playing with a chip on his shoulder. We've seen him do it before, and we know playoff Jimmy. I'm not going to
perform. He's going to perform.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that Jimmy is not going to be Jimmy or whatever. No, we know what he's going to do. We know what he can do.
Correct.
And he's coming in with a chip on his shoulder, proved not just to the world, but to the Miami Heat, like, I'm still this guy. And so, but with Miami, you get Andrew Wiggins, 29 years old. We talked about him before this deal. We talked about him before the season.
Yeah, absolutely.
His fit with Miami as a possibility. Kyle Anderson was supposed to be going to the Raptors, but it might look like he's staying. I don't hate that. I really don't.
Yeah. It fell through. It could still happen. And like Evan says, I still think that he'd have secondary moves. We're now at 15 roster spots because we had an opening. Kyle Anderson falls into that 15th. They want to get rid of that because they want to move him so they can get under the luxury tax, under the first apron, and become buyout buyers. So we'll see. We'll see how that plays out.
And Fitzstanza, man, great to see you. Hope Fitzstanza's having a good time. I mean, Dolphin season's over, so right now he's been a little offline. So I'm happy to see that he is watching this late hour. It's past his bedtime. So very cool to see him. And I think he's right. Honestly, I don't think the Heat are done. I think there might be one more move to be made. Alex told me before the show because the one move I thought was Lonzo, but Lonzo just signed an extension. But let me say first, the one thing Alex brought up that I love the most is the draft pick.
Yes.
Now Miami has 2 draft picks. Of course, it's a protected top 10, but you would think with Butler now on Golden State that they're not going to be in the top 10. They're gonna be about in the play-in or maybe just in that top 15. And Miami has been hitting home runs with these draft picks with Jovic, Khalil Ware, Jaquez, so I love this because it's the youth movement for Miami. I am honestly, Alex, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm never gonna hate, when there's a big name. If we talk like an Anthony Edwards one day or Giannis Antetokounmpo, any of that, of course you entertain it. But here's why I am as a Miami Heat fan. I'm done world chasing. Build through the youth, man. Make this a youth movement. Let's focus on that. Do that. Follow the OKC way, the Orlando Magic way. Organically building up, and then once you have those guys growing and you have that foundation, then you go get that. Then you go get that star player if he's there.
Yeah, when the opportunity presents.
But I don't want to. I'm done with the world chasing. These fans that seem to probably be born in the 2000s that are just like, oh, Pat Riley.
And the thing is, in 2026, you can move these contracts if Luka wants to come, if Anthony Edwards wants to come, if anybody wants to come. You can move
Josh?
these contracts.
Get in the house.
So and like Evan just said, Wiggins, a proud Canadian. People forget he was one of the most talented number 1 overall picks in NBA history. Like the way he was touted, the way he came up. So this is something to me. It's freezing here, so I'm warming up. Yeah, it's like I think like 75 degrees right now over here, 80 degrees. It's nice and cool today. It's a cool night. I'm just
Martell's in the house too. What's up,
like
Martell?
You said, hey, Wiggins is 29. This build now for the next 2 years is going to be on youth, and whoever we select in these first round picks, if we use those picks, unless we're moving them as well, I'm intrigued to see what happens with Terry Rozier tomorrow. I think he might see it through, but there's a chance. I don't expect Robinson to be moved. I expected maybe like Hawkins to be moved if there was any Butler movement as well in regards to Phoenix. I don't think they wanted to move Jovic. They will move it as last resort. But we might see some small moves tomorrow. Probably they're still trying into the night because remember, this trade can expand. Another team can be added. Since Toronto fell through, someone could take on Kyle Anderson's contract that has space, So I still think PJ for Ingram. Hey, Brandon Ingram is one of the top ones out there right now. He will be moved by tomorrow. Brandon Ingram will be moved, and I want to see what Phoenix does. Phoenix could get into the Brandon Ingram game. Vucevic is going to move from the Bulls. I would be surprised if Golden State is done. I'll be surprised if the Lakers are done. So there's still going to be a lot of movement before the trade deadline tomorrow.
Right now, do the Heat these two draft first round picks, are they movable right now? Could they move them right now?
Or
is there a hold?
I think they have one that is movable. I think the 2025 is our own 2025 is not movable because OKC owns certain rights.
Yeah, I think it's 231, right?
So the only first pick that we have movable was 2031.
Did I hold on to it? Let me see. Let me upload this. Bobby Marks tweeted out something earlier, and shout out to him, man. He is so good at what he does. Let me see if I could pull this up.
Bro, if we get 2 picks in the top 20 in this draft, Bobby.
What's up, Georgette?
Those are rotational players for years to come. And you're talking about after you pick Pelle Larson this year, Kelly Ware. Like, you have Keshad Johnson. Like, PJ Tucker's on an expiring deal. He's not going to sign another deal, maybe for a minimum to stay around as a veteran presence. But this is the youth movement that we've been kind of like, where Jimmy kind of forced it to, where we're going to go to either way. So, yeah, you see, we moved Jimmy, we moved Josh. You still got Burks that you can move. I don't think they moved Duncan Robinson.
So, what is it? Hero has unlikely bonuses. Okay, we're not have to worry about Jimmy Butler. He's out.
Bobby Marks will probably update this asset board by the time it's done.
And here, draft assets. We own the 26, 28, 29, 2030, 2031.
Yeah.
They can trade their first 2 years after the pick to Charlotte is conveyed.
Correct.
There you go. So I'm assuming the one with Golden State you can move.
Yeah, you can move. You can
that one you can move. The other ones you got to,
because whoever acquires it will acquire the restrictions as well.
But this was before the Jimmy Butler trade. And again, the trade that was announced, the details of that deal are here, minus Kyle Anderson. He's with Miami at this point in time. The the Golden State Warriors have signed or have traded for Jimmy Butler. They've signed an extension for 2 years. The Heat get Andrew Wiggins, Kyle Anderson, PJ Tucker, and a first-round pick, which is top 10 protected. The Pistons, Lindy Waters III, Josh Richardson, and a second-round pick. And the Jazz get Dennis Schroeder. So that's the deal that's been made with the Miami Heat. The Heat finally, the Jimmy Butler era in Miami is over. Jimmy, again, just talking about what he's done. I mean, 2 finals appearances, 2-time Eastern Conference champion, Eastern Conference MVP, 3-time Eastern Conference final appearances, most points scored in a playoff game with 56. I mean, he's done a lot, and I mean, that's what's crazy. I mean, build that legacy in this short amount of time. And for you, I don't know. Obviously, I don't know. You don't have good people in your corner, and I don't know, because how do you allow that to fall apart like that? Just to burn the house down on your way out. Like, it could have been like a great, you know what, man, you're a Heat legend. You don't have, it sucks that we didn't win one with you, but man, you did so much, and people are going to love you for it. And for him to go out in that way, it just sucks, So
that's the thing, and like, we know Jimmy's always going to be Jimmy, but the difference between the preseason press conference for media day, well, the day after media day, when he talked about, just playing out his contract, that he wasn't going to sign an extension anywhere this year. His plan was always to opt out. Don't make that statement. I know things can change, but that's just blatant lies. Like, just don't lie about those situations. Like, Miami had that understanding that he was going to play it out, that Miami was willing to give him an extension in the James Harden type of range, in the $30 million. Like, to me, I still don't comprehend. And I was talking about, like I told you, well, head coach Jason, I'm like, we're talking about it. I'm like, he doesn't understand why the Warriors made this move. And there's no real explanation. There's another move. I know it's a name. I know Jimmy can still perform, but Andrew Wiggins was having one of his best years all around, one of his most efficient years. He's a 38% three-point shooter. So he slides right into the Heat perfectly. You could even start him next to Hero if you want to start Jovic as well. So there's a lot of is a perfect fit. It's a perfect fit, and Wiggins is a multi-dimensional player that fits our timeline. And contract-wise, it's a great deal to have him. At $30 million with a cap going up, that is a very, very, very cap-friendly deal for us.
No, it is, and again, that's why I don't hate the deal on 2 fronts. It ends the drama, and actually, I do like the return, and I think this does help Miami in this season and the future. Because again, he doesn't have Andrew Wiggins, like you said, he fits Bam's timeline,
correct,
but also he fits the Heat's timeline. Where if the Heat in 2026, a certain player is available, Miami could try to move Wiggins because he has a movable deal, and it's not a bad deal either. It's not like it's some major 50 some odd million. It's 30 million, I think.
It isn't.
So I don't hate it at all.
You know what's insane though, Bobby? Right now, which team is in the worst position in the league? Probably is the Phoenix Suns.
Oh, dude.
You have a player that is your highest paid player that is not he knows you don't want him there. He knows you were actively shopping him.
Yep.
And he just wouldn't waive his no trade clause. Now, Kevin Durant is aware that you also were shopping him. So to me, the resolution, Kevin Durant has to go somewhere. There is no, unless you reward him with an extension, but I don't think at this point you're risking Booker. I know Booker's not going to ask out, but you went from having, once again, one of these teams with short, just because your owner is fiery and he wants all these moves. It's not like the Steve Ballmer part. Steve Ballmer is hype, but he understands also let the basketball people do their job. So, and the Clippers were on that were on that side when they made a mistake. When they traded for Paul George and they traded SGA, Jalen Williams, and a bunch of picks. They jumped the gun a little bit too. We understood it at the time. But these teams that go into these desperate modes, and I'm just gonna pair superstars and I'm gonna all do this because everything could work. Give me the 3 names. And Matt Ishbia with the Suns, he's putting his team in a very difficult predicament. James Jones has to be a miracle worker tomorrow because he has to salvage the season some way, somehow, because this team cannot continue to be in his form. They have to make moves because now you got two players that know that you wanted to shop them, and how are you going to coexist the rest of the year? How is that a functional team? That team is a 500 team, which is insane when you got Beal, Durant, and Booker, but it's not the perfect fit. So there has to be a move there because you're not going to move Beal. You're not going to move Booker. So the logical reason is move Durant. Now, where does Durant go? Where does he want to go? Because they have to work with him too. You're not just going to send him anywhere. So it's going to be an interesting deadline for the Suns.
Well, deadline or just they ride it out to the end of the season and they have to move Durant then, which, like you said, I mean, this let me tell you, this has been the most, obviously for us, it was going to be.
Of course.
This has been the craziest deadline, dude. You know, the Luka deal was, dude, Durant somehow ends up in LA. Oh gosh.
What about Dallas? Dallas can make
Dallas makes a lot of sense. Dallas makes a lot of sense. Because
Kyrie Irving's there. So,
well, you know, obviously we were going to spend a lot of the time on this episode before this deal went down was about that deal with LA.
Options. Yeah.
So you know, just very quick, we'll get back to Jimmy.
Yeah.
Who Kevin says he'll wear number 10 with Golden State.
Okay.
But that deal with Luka Doncic and Dallas,
correct.
It was shocking. I remember, dude, I was getting ready to go to bed. I went to go lay down. Tati was laying down, and I looked at my phone like one more time because I was following up on Jimmy just to make sure.
Yeah.
And I saw Shams tweet, and I did like a quad triple take. You know, like I kept looking at it, like, okay, how many followers does he have? Does he have the blue check mark?
Yeah.
And then finally, I was like, I sat up in my bed, and I was like, I cussed, like, what the, and I was like, wait a second. So, the first thing I did, I didn't even really think about the time. I just called you.
Yeah.
And then I saw the time, and I'm like, oh shoot. Yeah. It was midnight your time, and
no, it was. I think it was 1 a.m. My time.
No, it was 11 something my time. So it was 12
was
years.
11 something? Oh yeah, 12 something at my time.
Yeah. And but I called you and you're like, hello. And I was like, oh, I was like, yo, you sleeping? You're like, no, man, watching TV. I'm like, yeah, sure you are. And
I was watching a movie with my son. Yeah, I was watching a movie with my son. I was kind of like in and out of it, and it was kind of like, it was a long day, bro. And then you called me, and then I couldn't go to sleep for like 3 hours.
Right? Yeah, because you started texting me because I couldn't sleep either. I said, I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm like, I was chilling, walking around, and you're texting me, and then you stopped texting me, just kind of ghosting me. I was like, all right, cool. I guess you went to bed, dick.
Yeah, I fell asleep.
I mean, my goodness, you could have just said, hey, dude, my eyes are shutting down. I was like, all right, bro. No, this dude lets me text him for 2 more times. I'm sitting there like a dick. Yeah, no, I couldn't believe it, and I told you, I was like, dude, did you see the trade? And you're like, Jimmy? I was like, no, Luka. Luka got traded to the Lakers for Anthony Davis. You're like, nah, bro, that's fake. I was like, no, it's not. I was like, it's not. You go, and you went, what the? And all of a sudden I hear you go from, no, what the fuck? What? Also, there he goes. He's up, guys. And oh my gosh, what a shock. But let me say, first off, looking at the deal, for Dallas and LA, I didn't hate it for Dallas. I didn't hate the trade for Dallas. Obviously the Luka thing is just shocking. The Luka trade was shocking.
Yeah,
like standing Luka, but like if you look at the roster itself, and with with a hand, it's like, what? I don't hate it in the end, but what I do hate is what the GM's been doing, Dallas. I mean, dude, just say, like, to me, it's like you keep rubbing. First you say, oh, we were afraid he wasn't going to sign his max contract. He was overweight, even though he came in at 270. Even though we were afraid of injuries, even though he played the most minutes in the playoff, I think, it's like there's a lot of stuff he kept throwing to the wall, and I'm like, you're coming off so bad right now. Because, you know what I mean? Like, was it Nico Harrison is his name?
Nico Harrison. Yeah, he used to be the executive at Nike that represented a lot of these players. That was in charge of these players and their sponsorships and all that.
Jason Kidd looks like a hostage.
It's a very difficult situation. The thing is, like you just mentioned,
Heat win 108-101.
Perfect. Yeah. Perfect. What you just mentioned is trade-wise, roster-wise, it completes Dallas. I get it. The Lakers, they still have to build around Luka and LeBron. The only part that is insane is that these generational talents don't come around often. That's why they're called generational players. Very few times, if ever, have I seen a team trade a generational player in its prime. LeBron left as a free agent. So when the trade happened, automatically in my mind, executive mode, the only reason I'm trading Luka is I know something that the other teams don't know. Okay. But if I'm going to trade Luka, I'm creating a bidding war. Like I'm getting the biggest package that I can get. I understand a win now mode. And yes, Anthony Davis is a Hall of Famer. He's still an all-star. He's still playing at a high level. But this is Anthony Davis at 32 years old. Comparisons to Luka at 25, entering the prime of his career. Yep. And now with a massive chip on his shoulder, he's going to be in the best shape of his life. He's going to come after you. And like I mentioned, we talked about this. Luka has no incentive right now to sign an extension. He cannot get a supermax deal. Anywhere he signs is going to be the same. So it's an even playing field. If we ever had a chance on Luka, it's now. I get it. But this is a dream scenario for him. What came down to it is these negotiations were done in the dark, which, okay, I can respect. But the consensus around the league is people would have given him way more for Luka than what the Lakers gave him. So this is kind of like a buddy-buddy deal. This kind of reminds me of like the Kevin McHale in 2008 when he traded Kevin Garnett to the Celtics for Al Jefferson. And because he knew he was going to rebuild, but then he traded to his buddy, Danny Ainge. It's kind of like a help me deal. I mean, and I'm not taking anything away from Rob Pelinka, but that's not like he just outmastered him. Like, I don't know what Nico was doing. So, hey, and don't get me, he could prove us wrong. Dallas can win a championship in the next 2 years.
Oh,
and
for sure.
Amazing.
Yeah, no doubt.
We understand that concept. But it's just
he
Luka.
Just comes off bad, though. He came off bad with everything he kept saying. And like Kevin brings up, the 10 years from now he won't be there was a horrible comment. It was like
that's
what
insane,
doing, bro. What are you saying right now?
And what people don't realize, the fan base is important. The NBA loves this, by the way, because this just spikes everything up. Luka going to LA, perfect. But the Dallas fans, I understand it's probably a move from ownership. They don't want to pay him that supermax because it is $160 million difference.
I knew that oh my goodness, Mark Cuban had sold the majority of the team.
Yeah.
But I thought he in his deal he kept control of the team.
No, he has no control over personnel moves.
So what is he just a minority owner now?
He's a minority owner. He's part of the ownership group, but he has no control over it. If Mark Cuban had control over it, he said it himself.
Well, Chandler Parsons said it. Parsons was like, I texted Mark going, I'm confused, and he's like, that makes two of us.
Chandler Parsons. Yes,
Chandler Parsons. Yeah,
I don't know why he would do that. And those are things that, just the fact alone, the fan base in Dallas. Yes, you got Anthony Davis. They're gonna win. Dallas is gonna win. It's gonna compete. Dallas is gonna be top 4, top 5 in the West. I know that. But long term, Luka, you know how many season tickets they canceled? I think they were even offering refunds for the people that were trying to cancel. Like that. This is a seismic move in regards to imaging, in regards to marketability. Like, the thing is, the fact of a superstar of that nature, you communicate with him. If you're gonna move him, you're gonna talk to him. You owe that to him. You know, I understand. Yeah, he's 25. He's a millionaire, but there is a level of respect that comes in the profession. You just don't move a guy like that. I know he didn't say anything to keep it under. It was just owners and GMs, which is very rare, by the way. That's when we were all stunned by it. Like, there was no leak. There was no like little murmurs. I'm pretty sure insiders kind of knew a little bit about it, but this was a total surprise for executives across the league.
There are executives who are pissed off with that deal because
they would have offered way more for Luka.
Yeah, that's a deal where you're like, I'm not thinking about young assets. We're getting Luka. What's up, George? George to the Fins Faithful podcast.
The Suns will move KD. The Suns would send. They would in a heartbeat for Luka.
Let me, again, I didn't hate really. I know a lot of people are like, what? Oh, they got, again, I understand the deal on both sides. Again, I don't think it helps the Lakers too big this year. I think it helps the future if they're able to agree to an extension. I think the Mavericks set themselves up as a win now type of team if all health is considered, if they stay healthy. But I just hated the way they went about it. I really hate the way they went about it, especially the GM. I didn't like the way, it's like, dude, come on, dude. This was your franchise player, and he was a damn good one, and not just on the court, but off the court. Everything he did, he was a great ambassador for your basketball team, and for you to come out and do that and say that the way you said it, and then kind of like try to, destroy his reputation is like,
yeah,
what are we doing here?
That's don't talk about that once you trade the player.
Yeah.
Don't do that. You can talk about him when he's in house.
Exactly. So let me just say, we got a lot of people tuning in. Appreciate everyone watching right now. We got George of the Fins Faithful podcast tuning in. He just saw the Butler news. Appreciate George coming in, man. The growth of his channel is awesome. Dolphin fans, if you love the Dolphins, you love amazing content, go check out George's Fins Faithful podcast on YouTube. Had some great guests. Just had Tony Pauline on there. One of the insiders for the draft. It was really cool. You got Will of 305 Sports Now, Canes, Heat, Dolphins, all of the above content. Awesome stuff. We got 155 people tuning in right now through Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook, Twitch. Appreciate you all watching. If you're watching anywhere other than YouTube, hop on over, hit that like and subscribe button. You're watching East 10th Street Boys, straight out of Hialeah on FTSN. Breaking news episode. Jimmy Butler. The Jimmy Butler era is over with the Heat. He is now traded to the Golden State Warriors. This is huge, not on multiple fronts. It ends the drama, but again, now it's officially the youth movement in Miami. The stars in Miami is Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo. Those are your guys. Those are the guys leading your team right now. This is their team. There's no more questions, and this is huge for Coach Spo. He didn't want to be answering this. This was a distraction for the basketball team. Mm-hmm. Every time they lost, it was, what if Jimmy was there? Hey, Jimmy's coming back from suspension. What are you guys going to do now? It's just a constant distraction. Now it's over. Put it past you. Focus on the team you've got. I do.
I like Hero, Wiggins, Jokic, Bam,
Hero's playing point.
Yeah,
Robinson is Robinson playing guard, the shooting guard, right?
Robinson is starting now, I believe, because they're still starting Highsmith. So I wouldn't be surprised. I think they're gonna go Hero, Robinson, Wiggins, Bam, and Ware, and keep Jovic off the bench because they found that role for him and he excels. But even down the line, you will not be surprised if they're still gonna have a defensive stopper there. I know PJ Tucker's gonna get some minutes. I don't think they'll start PJ. But I wouldn't be surprised if
because you got Bam at the 4 and you got Khalil Ware at the 5.
Yeah,
I
wouldn't be surprised if they
but Wiggins is going to be at the 3, right?
Yeah. Wiggins is going to start. I would not be surprised though if the move is Hero, Wiggins, Highsmith, but it possibly could be Hero, Robinson, Wiggins, and Bam and Ware.
I would not play with this at all. If Miami could figure out a way to land Marcus Smart, I would love that deal for Miami. Yep. You guys are awesome. If I would have gotten the job at Valuetainment, I would have brought you guys on. Well, thank you, Will.
Appreciate it.
We appreciate that. And this is true too. That's why, like, you could have made the deal and just said, you know what, man,
right.
We love Luka. We appreciate everything he's done. He's one of the best, and we believe it. But it's just we're going in another direction, and we think we want to build around Derek Lively or whomever. You didn't have to say, oh, he's overweight. Oh, he wasn't going to sign the Super. Oh,
no.
There's other ways you could. You still would have came off bad because it's Luka. But again, you wouldn't have come off
no.
Like you did not look good.
And he didn't give any indications that he wasn't going to sign. That's the worst part here.
Well, Luka said it. He said, I never said anything. No, never. Yeah. And I believe he probably would have.
You know what's insane, Bobby? And they're not going to mention it, but it probably was a financial decision. And I understand because you weigh the option of paying the taxes, kind of like Joe Lacob with the Warriors. Like, he paid an insane amount of taxes. But Durant, Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, Draymond Green, they were winning championships. So it justifies that. Because the money you make alone on playoff runs, on merchandise, on jersey sales, it offsets how much money you pay on taxes. But it's going to be really sad when years from now, we'll talk about it. This might have just been a financially driven move because they did not want to pay Luka Doncic the Supermax, which in the long term, they're going to end up losing more money just by not paying him the Supermax and keeping him. So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out.
But anyway, back to the Miami Heat. The Heat win
Yes.
tonight, 108-101. Coach Spo is not authorized to talk about the trade. He has not commented on
Yeah,
it because
it's
it's
not
not
official
finalized yet.
Correct.
And that's just because they're still trying to work out the kinks. Even though everything it's agreed upon, it's just not official.
Yeah.
They have to get through the league office and everything else.
Yeah.
But yeah, Andrew Wiggins, former number 1 overall pick, he'll be the fourth number 1 pick ever to play for the Miami Heat. We had LeBron James, Shaq, and Greg Oden.
Yep.
Now we had Andrew Wiggins, and again, Wiggins, a huge part of the Golden State Warriors championship run. The last time, now he's young, 29 years old, fits with Bam, fits with Tyler.
And when you say that, this is not like a true youth movement. This is a veteran youth movement.
Because it's a veteran youth movement.
Yeah,
I'm just saying it's the younger guys. It's our young core.
It's perfect.
And think about that, Alex. Luka was traded before Tyler Hero. Jimmy was traded before Tyler Hero and Bam. Like, if people are not thinking about that, think about all the talk over these last few seasons. Trade Tyler Hero, trade Duncan, trade Bam. Luka got traded. Jimmy got traded.
Mm-hmm.
These guys are still here. And I'm not saying, again, that Luka's with Dallas, but or not
LA.
Like, and here's the thing with the now, I never want to hear another person ever say that would never happen. There's no way, bro. No, anything could happen.
Anything could happen.
Think about that. Luka just got moved. Nobody ever thought Luka would do the trade. You could say the top 5 guys that will ever get moved.
Correct. And what's insane?
Who's the top 5 guys, Alex? Top 5 guys that you would say right now, like, they're untouchable around the league.
That they're untouchable?
That you would put now.
Nikola Jovic.
Okay.
The Joker. He's for sure untouchable. I would say probably Ant Edwards.
Yep.
Steph Curry. He's not going to be moved.
Okay.
I would say Giannis, unless he requests the trade. I think Giannis is not going to be moved. And I think Jason Tatum, it won't be moved.
So, and obviously that's but Luka would have been in that conversation, right?
That's
before
the
trade. That's the thing.
Yeah. You know what drives the insanity of that, Bobby, was the return. Because if Luka is moved and it's like 5 first-round picks, Anthony Davis, Connect, all the young pieces, people won't be like, oh, okay, that's a basketball move. I can see that. But the fact that it was just 1 first-round pick in Anthony Davis, the trade-off, the financial comparisons and the value is like, whoa, the fucking Mavs just got fleeced. Like, there's no way they did this. That's why I think there's more uproar. Not the fact that Luka got traded, is what he got traded for. And then, like I said, not taking anything away from Anthony Davis at all. Anthony Davis is having one of the best years, and he's healthy, and he's been available. But I think what drives that is the return for Luka. That's what drives the uproar in the fans, and the fact that he's actually traded.
And Shams is saying too that Miami is keeping Anderson for now. So
for now, okay,
So for now, probably just get the deal done. Let's get the deal done. And I assume again, tomorrow is not here yet. The trade deadline's tomorrow, so other moves could be made, and maybe Anderson gets pushed out that way. So
and this trade could be extended. This trade could be extended. Another team could be brought in onto the trade before it's official, so they could always add another team. Since Toronto, I don't understand how that happens. Like, it happened to us. I don't know if you remember with the whole Jimmy deal with Dallas. Dallas backed out at the end, which I was happy because we didn't lose Goran Dragic, because Goran was going to Dallas when we acquired Jimmy, and then that backfired because there was a mistake. That's when we had to trade Mo Harkless and a first-round pick, and we had to trade Hassan to Portland for Myers Leonard. Because trade, like, that whole fell apart. I don't understand how that falls apart when you're at this point. It's like, it's kind of like game buyer's remorse, or the compensation wasn't convinced. I don't understand how that falls apart. But they'll try to find a way to move Anderson. Or, you know what? I might be intrigued. I would see if I can package Rozier and Anderson with maybe like a 2nd-round pick to the Wizards for Chris Middleton. I might try to get Middleton, unless I know Middleton's going to be bought out or traded. Like, he's not going to stay there. Like, there's no way he's going to. Well, no, he
so
won't be
now
bought
that we
out
get,
because
he can't be bought out.
No,
they're
not going to buy him out. It won't be financially smart for him to buy himself out.
If now that the Heat have kept Kyle Anderson for now,
correct.
I don't have it in front of me, so I'm going to ask you. Maybe you know, or maybe you don't. It's okay. But do they have an exception now? Do they have little wiggle room to sign someone who gets bought out? I know that if they didn't get
No,
Anderson, they were going to have that room that they had the move. They
exactly.
had the room,
No,
but now
they
they
don't
don't
have
have
it.
it no more.
No, if you're above the first apron,
They're just above
I
the first apron. They got to
yeah,
make one more trade.
they have to make one more move in order to be able to have a mid-levels tax exemption, I think, and the ability to size someone out in the buyout market. If I'm not mistaken, I'll confirm, but I think that's why they want to get under. And remember, it's the repeaters tax also. So you want to get under. And remember, you have until the last day of the regular season to get under the tax. You could be a tax team. It's when the NBA closes, like the league year closes, is when you can still have that time to get under a tax. But obviously, you got to make the move by tomorrow if you want to get rid of Kyle Anderson, or unless you're going to move someone else. Because you got still movable pieces like in Alec Burks. Like you can move Alex Burks. You can package him with another player. You can move that. You can move Highsmith. But obviously you probably won't do that.
I don't want to move Highsmith.
No. So that's
Burks
just something.
Burks has been one of our most consistent players, though.
That's when he's played. When he's played, absolutely.
But I wouldn't mind. And one of the guys though that you've been bringing up through text message and is Lonzo Ball, but he has agreed to an extension, 2 years, $20 million with Chicago,
which I was surprised by that. I mean, he's coming off of almost a career-ending injury.
Thanks, Kevin. Put this up here per Bobby Marks. Kevin just put this in our comments, which is great. So there you go.
Correct.
That's something we were looking at before the show. So it's about 7.8 million above the luxury tax and about 3.1 million over the first apron.
Oh,
so they got to save the 3.1, right? Is that what they got to get rid of? They got to get over.
They got to shed 3.1, which is basically Jaime Jaquez's contract, or it's not Alex Burks. So you might have to package. What they want to do is probably move Anderson, but you see the good thing about this Anderson is for 2026, it's zero guarantee. That 9.7 is not a guaranteed salary. So you can waive them. Yeah, you can cut them and you're not penalized. There's nothing guaranteed there. Okay. So that's a good thing. And obviously, PJ Tucker is going to be a free agent next year, so that's fine. And look at Wiggins' cap, bro. Wiggins is 26 next year, 28, and the third year 30.
That's what I'm saying. It's not a killer deal. Yeah, there you go.
Exactly. You see? Yeah, it could work. Look, realistically, man, I love Hayward Highsmith, and I know they're probably not gonna move him. But when you got Keshad Johnson in the pine and he's coming up, you got Pelle Larson, now you got PJ Tucker. So now you have some movable pieces where instead of just keeping him, you move that part. But I want to see. I want to see what secondary move. Even if this is the only move, it's still great advancement into what we thought this year, how this year was going, because this team is going to buy into each other.
Yeah,
it's just a relief. It's a sign of relief for the coaches, for everybody.
Absolutely,
you're done. Like that's it.
Yeah, just move past it now. It's done. And as Eric Reed said of the Miami Heat, history and time will pass on, but he'll go down as one of the best players in franchise history for sure.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Absolutely. It's going to be emotion. I want to see what the Heat post. I want to see what Jimmy posts. And Jimmy comes back March 25th.
Jimmy posted a song about he posted a song about the Wild Wild West.
Oh, of course. Yeah. That's a good one.
He ain't going to say nothing nice. I don't think he'll say anything nice right now. Maybe something to his teammates, but
he might. When the trade is official, he might post, and Miami will post something. They will post a thank you and a tribute, and it's going to happen.
What if they post a picture, like just a middle finger emoji, just like straight up?
Pat Riley.
Yeah, that's just. Yeah.
Hey, now, I got to give you this. This is a power move in regards to any other organization to just, yeah, man. It's when you see it,
But that's what I'm saying. Like, and then you have two possible first round picks this year that you could turn around and you could move on a trade. But again, I'm like, why are we moving? Look what we've done in the last 3 seasons, with these rookies that we've hit on. I know Jovic is Hawkins is having a sophomore slump, but who gives a shit? I still believe in him. Just like I believe in Ware.
I believe in him, but he might be the most movable one out of everybody.
Just because he's the one that's having the slump. That's it.
No, not because of that. Because you got Pelle Larson. You have a person that kind of does his role. It's true. It's true.
Stop it.
You're gonna move Hawkins before you move Jovic, and before you move Ware. You're not moving Ware. You'll move
I'm not saying
Jovic before you move Ware.
yeah,
Like
well, yeah.
Imagine
yeah.
Ware in 2026.
Yeah.
Imagine Jovic in 2026. Imagine Hawkins, Pelle Larson in 2026. Like you have a legit balanced team throughout, and you can compete. You can compete,
but
man.
you could add 2 more pieces to that.
Oh yes,
young
yes.
pieces. You know, again,
And
just think about what
pieces.
can the Heat use now? Okay, well, if we move one guy, you know, we think about the most expensive pieces that could be trimmed off. You know, and you go, okay, now we got to get ourselves maybe a wing and D player. A space shooter. You know, a backup 4 because PJ's going to get out. You know, then.
Oh yeah. You got to get functional size. A tall point guard. I love it.
I'm down on tall point guard.
Functional size, man.
Get it. I'm down with it. Get your Giannis 2.0. Poor man's Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Realistically, the best thing that can happen for us this year is Warriors making the playoffs and we making the playoffs, because that guarantees, and us being low seeds, everybody being low seeds, because that guarantees that we're going to have 2 picks in the top 20, possibly 16, 17, 18. We can have picks back to back. And you have a rotational piece. Miami excels picking in the late teens because they draft people in the late teens that should have been top 5, top 10. And that right there is a nucleus. That right there makes a lot of things movable. So and the fact that I don't want to get lost. Andrew Wiggins, as a player, he legit fits perfectly what we want to do. So I couldn't be beyond, obviously.
I'm just going to say, too, like,
I just realized Kevin Durant, but what happened?
No, I just realized for me, we may have 2 first-round picks. That screws me over.
Oh, you? Oh, boy.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to try to hit twice, boy. Not just once, twice.
Hey, if Luka does not sign an extension, to Kevin here, if Luka does not sign an extension, everything is on the board for 2026. Everything. Every team, with a legit chance. And what he said is important. Well, it's always been Lakers or Miami, LA or Miami. If you see Goran Dragic become part of the front office staff as a vice president or something, Goran Dragic played with Luka's dad. He's known Luka since he was a baby. If you see Goran officially become a member of the Heat front office staff, you already know the angle is there. It's going to be talked about. There's a connection there, the culture. So we'll see. I'm going to leave it for now.
So just to say, Andrew Wiggins this season right now is averaging about 17.6 points a game, 4.6 rebounds, 2 and 4 assists, and he's 44.4% from the field.
Yeah.
So
and 38% from 3. So that's
right. That's right. And let me look at the Eastern Conference. I want to look at the Eastern Conference standings currently. Miami is 7th right now. Well, I think they won, so they're 25 and 24. So
yeah,
they might
should be 6, right? 7?
Yeah, they should be a 6 right now. I don't have Detroit, but Detroit's 25 and 25. That's the thing, man. Like, people are like, oh, they just don't tank. You're there. You're in the cusp. You're on the cusp of it. And Cleveland, they dominated Miami the last game, man. I was like, they're so damn impressive.
Oh, and they're and it's crazy how it happens, because the time we played them before, we dominated them and we outplayed them. So it was just it's one of those games that you're like, damn, like how did this happen? Even against the Bulls, we lost a 13-point lead yesterday. So this team, we've lost 7 over 13-point leads in the fourth quarter. That's the difference between a 31 and a 17 team and a 24-24 team. So it's about how we close out as the lineups. I wanted to kill Spo yesterday because he kept Terry Rozier on instead of like Duncan Robinson or Highsmith even. And I'm like, we were up 12 when Terry Rozier checked back in the game. Lead evaporated. I'm like, Jesus Christ. And look, he had a great game today. Terry had a great game today against Philadelphia. I was seeing the stats. Like, he had a great game today. So maybe a defined role, him off the bench being comfortable, because he can score in bunches. And you have seen some changes where he's more catch and shoot. Remember, this guy is used to being ball dominant. In this team, he's not going to be that, because you need realistically, and I tell you this, I know you're a huge Jaime fan. The best role for Jaime is having the ball in his hands off the bench and him sharing it with Jovic. Jaime can initiate your offense.
Jaime, Jovic, and Khalil Ware. Those are my guys.
Those I know, man. And when they run together, they're good.
I'm telling you, like, I get it. I get where you're coming from with the movable pieces and all that. But again, I'm not ready to jump off the Jaquez train after year 2 because he's having a down year, you know. But I get it. I mean, again, if you can get yourself a decent piece back, do it. But I'm all about youth. I'm all about the youth movement right now. We got 2 movable first round picks. Don't move them. Yep. Draft them.
Affordable contracts, man. Affordable contracts.
That's right. Because then, and that's true too. You get some tradable. You draft those guys. They end up being what these guys are. You can move these guys. You know, and again, you get that star player down the line, or you build up. Look at the Magic. Look at look at Cleveland and what Cleveland was building young players. And what did they do, Alex? They go and get Donovan Mitchell, and now look what they're doing.
And they you bring up the Celtics. Players.
The Celtics. They Jaylen Brown. Jason Tatum, they develop their young core. What do they do? They go out and get Porzingis. They go get Horford.
And they traded Marcus Smart out of their core, their young core.
That was their young core. They traded Marcus Smart years later after competing.
It's always going to happen. You're always going to move 1 or 2 pieces, but you're going to keep your core.
The Mavericks, the Warriors, and the Suns, 10, 11, and 9 in the Western Conference. That's crazy to me.
That's because
does Jimmy Butler actually push you up that far? Look, does that get you in that?
Realistically, Jimmy is going to perform. He's ignited. He has his contract. He's going to perform. He's going to be Jimmy Butler.
Oh, he'll play with a chip on his shoulder for sure. 100%. I agree.
Did you do yourself? Unless I will go on a limb here. I'm almost 100% sure the Warriors are not done. They have to make another move. Does that core with that age?
Got that the Hialeah internet, boy. Frozen Wi-Fi. Wait a couple seconds before he pops back in.
So it just comes down
there
to.
He is.
Oh, sorry. Where did I leave
there
off?
He is. Yeah,
I disappeared again.
Yeah, you got that. Dade County Wi-Fi.
That lag, bro. Yeah. That lag. Where did I leave off? What did you
Cuban internet, boy.
Horrible. It's horrible. What did I leave off? What did I leave off? What did I break off?
I don't know. I got distracted with the frozen face.
With the frozen. Were you staring at it?
Yeah, I was. I was watching. I was looking at the crevices of the face. That boy got more wrinkles than anything now. Was she banging on the window to let you know you're frozen?
I don't even know who's banging on the window. I think it's my son.
Oh, I heard somebody banging on something.
I don't even know. Oh. Shit! Now I'm looking around like, hey.
Yeah. Hey! Someone didn't. What was that movie? Was it? I know what you did last summer. Or that scene where it's like, you're in the back. Somebody's in your back seat. That was one of those little things scare the hell out of me. Like, that's a creepy scene. So the guy couldn't talk and she got scared because the guy at the gas station, he was pumping gas and he was mute. And then, he was trying to tell her and she got scared because he was trying to talk. Say, no, it was me. You see, Jamila.
Oh,
yeah. I knew somebody banged on something.
I didn't know where she's at.
She's always around, dude. You don't need to know where she's at.
Oh, was it upstairs? I don't even know, man. Oh, she's in the door, you think?
I don't know. I think she's trying to tell you something. I think she's trying to tell you it's frozen.
Like, you can message me, probably.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's the same thing. Like, I don't need to know every little thing. Not saying that for her. I'm saying for the other one. The other one's over here waving at me. It's like, you got it.
Hi.
But I mean,
we're live. We're kind of doing something.
We're trying to be live here.
Yeah.
My goodness, give us a little bit of time. We're almost there. We're almost there.
Oh, I was asking you, Bobby, do you have a legit the sign that you told me that you have like on air outside the door? Is it controlled through your phone? Like it's an app, or you just have the sign that you turn it on?
It's a sign and it doesn't work no more, but it's above here. It's here.
Oh, because I want to get one for
door,
Jamila.
Yeah,
because she has meetings. Obviously, she works from home. She has meetings, but when you open the door to the bedroom, you can see her computer screen is wide, so you can see people walking in and out. So I wanted to get a little sign to put outside the office, like outside the door. So when she's in a meeting, she just turns it on, but I can't find anything. I've been trying to look to see if there's anything you can control like through an app. So she just turns it on, boom, and like, hey, don't come in the room. I'm in a meeting.
There's two things I could tell you. So the one that I haven't found anything like that because that would be perfect. The one I had the one I had was you had to like press the button on it.
Okay.
Like, grab it, turn it, and then put it back
Oh,
up.
okay. Got you.
Or you press that button, like the off and on button.
Yeah.
But another one I was thinking of, which might be helpful, is, and maybe you could figure that out, is get like a red light, yellow light, green light.
Yes.
Thing,
yes.
And have it wired to the room. So
Correct.
when she gets on a call, all she has to do is turn it on.
Click it, boom.
And the red light is on. Don't go in there.
Don't go in
She's
there.
on a call. Leave it alone.
Yeah.
I got to do the same thing with Tati. Tati, or me for a show, but Tati for sure. Because Tati, it's the same thing. She's on her laptop. She's in a meeting. And it goes right to the door. So as soon as somebody opens the door, everyone could see everybody.
Exactly.
And they have a bad habit of trying to get in the room. I mean, and that goes from the father to the kids. And Tati would go, my father just ran into my room. Blah, 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 blah. Like, I'm at work. I don't know what you want me to do. I mean, I can't help you.
She
Text me, messages me on my thing.
Yeah.
People are walking in the room. I'm so pissed right now. I'm like, what do you want me to do? I mean, you're there. I'm here. Let me drive home. Take care of it.
I'll show them.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I'm everywhere. Yeah.
Hey guys, I gotta go. I gotta take care of something. I'll be back.
Yeah. So use some LED strips lights. Yeah. But for sure. And that way, Tati, when she's on a call, turn it on. Or if you're knee deep in work, because she has to do logs and everything. So she gets distracted and whatever, and just hardcore. And if she gets distracted, she messes up, or she could turn on the red light.
You just went in the same statement and you said knee deep and hardcore. I was seeing what other words you can. I love it.
You just slip and slide right in there.
Boom,
you know what I mean?
Wet
and Wild.
Remember
Wet and Wild? Remember that?
Oh yeah.
Good
yeah.
times.
They shut it down. They opened up oh my God, what is the water park that they did there? God, it's not Blizzard Beach, it's something else. Or is it Typhoon Lagoon? I gotta confirm. Because I know they closed down
Disney World. Typhoon Lagoon is Disney.
Yeah. But Wet and Wild closed and they did another water park there. Is that Volcano Bay? Is that Volcano Bay is I don't even know which water park, bro.
Bro, I don't live there.
I'm confused with those. I don't live there anymore.
It's been like it's crazy how long I've been here. I don't know how long we've been here now.
Was it 12 years?
No, Audrey's 12, so I think 11 years. There you go. About 11 years.
Oh my God, that's true. You moved when Audrey was 1.
Yeah. It's crazy to think.
That's insane.
Yeah. It's nuts that we've been here for that long,
That's crazy. It feels like a whole other world. Like,
it's crazy. That's how fast time goes, man. I mean, it's just like you don't even think about it.
Do you even remember or saw yourself living somewhere else? Or at this point, like you've always lived. You get me? You get what I'm saying? Like the feeling you've always lived in Franklin. Like I know you can remember when you grew up, like in Hialeah.
Yeah.
But living
as an adult now, with the kids,
you're like you've always lived in Franklin.
Yeah, you see, like Tati says, you don't even realize it. You go, damn, we've been here that long.
Tati, you thought you guys were going to move back or move somewhere else?
Have we all? Yeah, that AJ's about to be 18. That's crazy to me, dude.
AJ's going to be 18 next Tuesday.
But I was even thinking, like AJ,
yeah,
she's going to college soon. And
yep.
Tabitha,
Tabitha's 20, right?
Yeah. That got me the other day, dude. I was like, oh, there you go. It's Volcano Bay.
Yeah, Jamila said it there. Oh, and Kevin said it too.
So
Kevin was straight Chat GPT.
Yeah, that's what he did. All right, hey, it works, yeah. Kevin. Hey, yeah, it's cool. But no, dude, it's nuts to think how fast years go. And like when Tabitha turned 20, and I was messaging her.
Yeah,
I knew she was out. She got a boyfriend now, so they went to Disney World. And I was messaging, and also I got like choked up thinking about it because where'd that baby go?
Oh yeah, man.
It goes even my kids, but like remember, Tabitha was the kid before the kids, and
yes, yeah.
Even AJ. I mean, I remember we all go to Disney World, and AJ would be the kid, and we'd be she drew on the artwork that they had done.
Animal Kingdom.
Yeah, but now it's like, but like I was saying about Tabitha, I was like, it was just yesterday when she would call me, and she was like, do you believe in mermaids or the Loch Ness monster? She'd ask me these questions on the phone and talk to her for hours.
Yeah.
I told her, I said, well, what do you think? She goes, I believe in them. I said, so do I. I was like, who cares what anybody else thinks? I said, that's what but I used to have this kind of, now it's like, she's talking to me about work, getting a job and her coworkers and her boyfriend, and I'm like, God dang, dude.
Yeah,
Like, and then you
yeah,
think about where did that kid go? And then you look at your own kids,
yeah.
and you're like, you're looking at like Audrey, it's just SeaWorld, Alex.
What I say? Oh, Animal Kingdom. I'm sorry, Animal Kingdom. We went last time we went to Disney. My apologies. Yeah, SeaWorld. Sorry.
SeaWorld. But no, good times, dude. But yeah, no, you were asking if we ever thought about moving back or
Yeah.
moving out of
Well, yeah.
Tennessee.
What Tati said that she said that she figured there will be you guys will be there for like 5 years and then move. Did you figure you guys will move back to Florida or you just move somewhere else based on what the job provided, like the opportunities that came up? Because we've talked about this. We've talked about even going to Texas. We've talked obviously about Tennessee because we love it up there.
Yeah.
There's always possibilities when
Honestly,
you work remote. So
we
oh,
Tati and
because of
I,
the cold. I got back to Florida because of
Tati
the
and
cold.
I, well, yeah, because of the cold, but family, it's closer to Puerto Rico if she wants to go to Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
But the family, friends, all that. But at the same time, though, like, Tennessee's been awesome. It's a great place. To come back to 305, Bobby. Yeah. It is a great place to raise your family. I love it. I love the the scenery,
Yeah.
the things to do. There's always something to do everywhere.
Yeah.
But
It's
then
very homey. It's a very homey feel.
well, like Tati's the one who thinks a lot about the hip. Well, thank you. There you go, Kevin. But to think about like Tati and I talking about like the cost of living now, the insurance is just crazy. Insurance, homeowners insurance in Florida, car insurance, that compared to here. So it's like that's the stuff that's kind of like, ooh, you really want to do that, But no, I don't. My thing's always been, home is wherever your family is. If Tati was to get a job somewhere, we do what we got to do. If it was back in Florida, we move back to Florida. If it was here in Tennessee, we here. But my thing would be like stay in Tennessee. As for but I would hate obviously moving back home, being closer to home, or closer to Florida, be closer to family and friends and the 305. Miami Dolphins, Heat, and all above. But who are you talking to, Alex, about these plans to move to Texas? Yeah,
bro. She acts like we've talked. I didn't say we're talking about moving to Texas. We've always had the possibility. We've talked about how cheap property.
So you're probably
is
talking
in
about
Texas.
this one conversation you guys had on one of your 10-hour trips. Like you brought up, like, what about Texas? She's like, no, not Texas. And now that's in your highlight. We talked about moving to Texas.
She's acting crazy now, man. Like, there's no.
I'll say one thing Alex and I talked about was when we get older, having a house next door.
Yes,
and that way we're just chilling on the front porch,
for sure.
Hey, you old
even
fart,
like
get over here.
Even like a vacation home, like where I'm with Tati here, and I've told Jamila this. I've always been a tropical. I need to be like in an island. I love that. Now I do love seasonal, going to the snow. I mean, I've never seen snow, but I know I love the cold. I love the country.
You've never seen snow?
I've never seen snow. I've never been in snow. I've never witnessed snow. I've been
I just had snow here.
I know.
Like when I tell you, Alex, it's about to snow next week. Why don't you get your ass in the plane with the kids?
Okay. When we were in Tennessee one time and it snowed right after. Yeah.
Yeah.
It snowed right after.
I know.
It's a matter of timing. It's a matter of time.
No, like Tati and I've talked about, like, God willing, this financial situation's good and everything. We've talked about having like a vacation home, either like in Puerto Rico and then renting it out, or in Florida or whatever. That way we, but we'll see what happens. Life.
Hey, man, I know it's time little by
little.
But
not Texas. You don't want to move to Texas. Stop it. Why would you mention Texas?
I mean, property is super cheap. No state income tax. And it's Texas. Yeah, Texas, man. There's some parts of Texas that are amazing. Let's move St. Croix. Yeah, for sure. Hey, I'm telling. I love the island life. Like I can see myself.
Yeah.
Sitting
trust me. Sitting on the beach, listening to the ocean. Like when we did that for the last year, in Florida, it was like, that was so cool. Just chilling out.
It's relaxing, man. It's relaxing.
It's just one day when you open your eyes after chilling out and you look and the water's all the way out in the distance and you're going, what's that? And also you see this big wave, whoa, shit, and the big tsunami. Nah, I'm good. We're good. We'll go visit it little by little.
Houston's amazing. Actually, one place I wouldn't mind, San Diego.
And you don't want to be in Texas right now, Alex. You don't want to be in Texas.
Oh,
that one time of you know, talking to your dad on the phone or your mom in Spanish. It's like, hey, get him. You know, it's like,
If I pull
we
up,
found one. We got him. Get him.
if I pull up like this in Texas, for sure I'm getting deported. It's like, but I was born here. Birthright citizens. What are you talking about? Like, I was born in Miami.
But you know, Texas, I could see it. Tennessee, I could for sure you guys seeing
Yeah.
kill, and like we'll just be all in on. Like I could see you guys.
I've
killing
never
here
been
things.
intrigued, for example, California wise. I've never been
No,
intrigued about living in
never.
New York. Now I do want to visit Montreal, Toronto. I want to visit Canada. I do see myself living in Europe. I do see myself living in the islands.
You could see yourself, you mean?
Oh, yeah, I could see myself living.
You say,
there.
you know, I see myself. It's like, what do you mean you
Well,
see
yeah.
yourself? So,
Well,
like,
in
you
the
know,
future,
when are
in
you
the future.
planning this? You know, one day Jimmy's like, where's Alex? Hey, listen, I moved to Europe today, and wait, what? Thanks for the heads up.
I didn't talk about this.
Yeah, remember I brought it up that one time we were eating pizza at that
One
place.
time, 15 years ago, that I said,
It's like just random ass conversation. You know, he sees a lot. Yeah, he sees a lot. People can dream.
This is the north for me. Look, you know what's the best part, Tati? Like, I have a lot of clients. Well, I mean, Evan can attest to this. I have a lot of clients that are Canadian, and they're usually from the Montreal area. All of them are now here until March, April. Why? Because they're waiting it out for the winter to die down, and then they return. The famous snowbirds, and they tell me, Alex, you gotta come see Montreal. Like, all my clients have told me, you gotta come see Montreal, but do not come now. Do not come now in February. Wait until June or July. They always tell me about these jazz festivals and the way that it's so lively. So Toronto's more like a metropolitan area. Montreal's more like a homey feel to it. But I've always been intrigued by those cities. I've always been intrigued by the culture of the cities and the cuisine, like the just getting to walking the streets. Like, I don't like only going to destinations. What we love, and obviously Jamila and I love road trips, and our kids enjoy it too. We love stopping in small towns and just getting the vibe of it, because it's always great to be able to just to slow down the pace of life and enjoy it. Because here in Miami, everything is so fast paced, and like, you don't have time for anything. And when you get to a small town, you're like, wow, this is so cool. I can see myself. And I can imagine that's kind of like the island life. When you're in the island life, it's chill. It's relaxing. You know, what happened will happen, you know? So it's just, realistically, everybody works to be able to provide for a lifestyle. But if a lifestyle is secure for a lot of people, I believe a lot of people are just going to be chill and relaxed. So, but it all depends on the personalities too, you know?
Dude, what the are you talking about?
Oh, I just got into a deep conversation.
I'm just saying, like,
about life. Like, it was great. It was great.
You know, we all work hard together.
I'm just sailing. I'm just on a boat right now. I'm just sailing.
I go, oh, look, Bobby Marsh just posted like post trade.
Yeah. Oh, and I said,
yeah. What you were saying.
When I said it would be cool to live here, I want to go visit the place. I didn't say I was going to go live in Montreal. I'm saying I want to go visit to it.
Actually, there's one good thing about some random town from Strangeburg that may give him. I want to move to an island. I looked into St. Croix houses. I never said I would never. I don't know if I would.
St. Croix houses are pretty cheap.
Yeah, I don't know if I would say I would never. I would never move to New York City. I don't like people. And I mean that with love, because I get along. I do a lot of things, and you know, I deal with a lot of people. I don't mean in a bad. I mean, you know, people in general. You know, I don't want to deal with a lot of people. Like, you're telling me St. Croix, like where I could, you know, I work, and then okay, at the end, I'm going outside. I'm sitting on a beach somewhere, just chilling. I'm seeing a dolphin swim by or something. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, would never. So I think Tati has me, and then she has the Bobby in her head. You know that. You know,
I get that all the time. Like,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
these scenarios where
I've heard it before. You know, it's like,
it's great. It's great.
You said I never said that. When did I say? Well, I knew you would say it. I'm like, no, I never. What?
The hypothetical world that they like to create, and for some reason, that answer that you gave in this hypothetical world was the truth and the real, and like, and it could even be a dream, and like, it all of a sudden, like, you're responsible for this, and I'm like, it's insane.
I had a dream.
I'm gonna get.
I had a dream that you did this and that, and you know, and like, I'm like. Is that why you're pissed? I'm like, what?
Yeah. You just woke up today like this for no reason? Okay.
Yeah, you don't remember what happened last night? I really don't. I don't
No,
understand.
I was sleeping.
What
I was
occurred?
sleeping.
So, what? It's like, very quick.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Grandma watching on Facebook. I see Grandma hit the like button. Appreciate you, Grandma. Love you. Hope you're doing all right. It's the other way around. Yeah, you just went LOL, but you're gonna say it's the other way around. Sure. You would love me if I was the recliner.
She went LMAO.
Yeah, I laughed my ass off. She laughed, and then she's like, "That's not true. It's the other way around."
Yeah, asshole.
Yeah, I don't need the other way around. I already have one Tati. I don't need two. You are nuts and the type that flies under the radar. Okay. Let's see.
Beautiful.
There we go. Let's go ahead and put this up here. She's rambling now, everybody. There you go. No, just playing. But here you go. Starting 5, Alex. There you go. Tyler Hero, Highsmith, Andrew Wiggins, Adebayo, Khalil Ware. Oh, she's talking now. She's awoken from her slumber. No, I'm just playing. Finance. There you go.
Perfect. All right. Nice. Andrew Wiggins, man. Just seeing the name Andrew Wiggins, man. I'm so happy. I'm excited for that.
Look at that. So there you go. Above the tax line, they're above the tax by 7.9 million. Above the first apron, 3.1. Below the second apron, they're 7 million below the second apron.
Yeah.
And the apron rules cannot acquire a player using more than 100% traded player exception. Cannot aggregate contracts if the post-trade salaries is above the second apron. You cannot sign a player waived that had a pre-existing salary of 12.8. So so they can only bring a player that's under that amount.
There you go. That's the one. That you see that right there. They cannot acquire a pre-existing player of 12.8 million. So, for example, let's say Chris Middleton gets bought out, they can't sign him.
Okay.
That's the one I wanted to check. That's why I love. Hey, Bobby Marks is amazing. I know he was part of the Nets front office that traded for Kevin Garnett, so he's always going to take shit for that because it was a horrible trade. But when they traded for Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce, that was one of the worst trades ever. But he's amazing. He's amazing with these caps. Him and Andy Ellisberg, I can sit down and just listen to them.
First of all, I wasn't talking about that at all, Tati, in the comments.
Oh, she's a repeat dream cheater? Uh-oh.
She has. Yeah, for
she's
sure.
A repeat. Does she cheat with the same person as in the dreams over and
over?
I don't
know. No.
Oh,
it's one of those things where like you go, yo, like where are you at? Like when are you coming home? And she doesn't answer the phone. And we see she acts out. It's one of those type of things that's like, dude, what the see? Jamila says I give Alex shit for cheating in my dreams.
Oh, all the time. All the time. Remember the hypothetical world that we live in?
Yeah.
I love those hypothetical worlds. It's like, oh, what would happen if you do this and that? I'm like, I'm not really gonna get into this. Like there's no response that's gonna guarantee my safety for the rest of the night today. So just whatever response you want,
whatever you want, just say what you want.
Like I was trying to be calm tonight, and like there's no reason for us to go downhill. And it's usually when you're at your happiest and when you're your calmest, like you're just hanging out legit. You're watching a show, you're doing something. Hey, funny question: what would happen if whenever I hear what would happen if? Can you imagine if I'm like, oh fuck, here we go. Now we're going to go down this rabbit hole, bro. Well, how do I respond to this? And I'm like, I don't need to have this thought process right now in my brain. I'm just trying to hang out. I'm just trying to chill. Why do I have to think now? Like, how am I going to respond?
But why wouldn't you love me if I was a recliner?
the hypothetical shit,
bro. Is that a hypothetical? Would you love me if I was a recliner? Is that why she said about the recliner comment?
Yes,
that's
bro.
Hilarious, dude.
Yeah.
I hope he's a millionaire. He's not. He's 5'5". He works at a Burger King, and he has his face is full of piercings.
That's the guy that.
Yeah.
That's the guy.
Yeah, that's what he is now. So she wants to play this game. You know what I mean? You want to play that fucking game? No. We want to go there. Would you love me if I was a recliner? You know, Alex, do you know how you answer that, babe? I would be on you all the time.
I'll be on you all the time, baby. I'll be all the time. Well, face first. Face first.
Who sits in a recliner face first?
I mean, hey,
me, bro.
Is it an electrical recliner though? It has to be electric. It can't be one of those like old ones that you just like the pole. Like my mom has one of those. No, come on. You know what I'm talking about. The side stick, bro. The side stick, bro. It has to be like a fancy. It has to have a nice cup holder for sure. It has to have like a nice cup holder, a seat warmer.
Like I would love a D-size cup. Just fit
Yes,
right
bro.
there.
Just
Yeah,
all
I got
D, baby. All D.
you. All the teams. I
My
knew where
D
Jamila was
rest.
going. Yeah, that's right. I'm gonna rest myself right here on you. I got you, girl. I knew where you're going with that whole recliner thing. It's all good. But that's hilarious. Oh man, trying to see if there's any little
Recliner chair. Oh, I just read here. Delonte Wright got traded. The
yeah.
Bucks are gonna make a move. The Bucks got under the apron to make a move. The Bucks are trying to, man, they're trying to probably get in on Brandon Ingram or somebody. I want to see where Brandon Ingram ends up.
Yeah. Look at this. Let me see.
I'm telling you, man, tomorrow's gonna be active.
You know who comes out good? You know who comes out looking really good after this whole situation?
Who?
Shams.
Oh shit, bro! They talk so much shit about Shams,
Yep.
and I'm like, at first I'm like, Shams always been a pretty credible, and like they denounced it like right away. I'm like, You see those hypotheticals exactly.
So you would love me. Is that why you don't love me now?
Exactly. You see that? You see that? Would you love me if I was this? Yeah, yeah. Oh, so you don't love me now?
You think because you answered the question,
the
I'd love
best
you if
one.
you were a client. So you don't love me right now? Like,
The
wait,
best
no,
one.
hold on.
Hey, how do I look? I'm like, oh wow, you look beautiful today. Oh, so I don't look beautiful any other days? Like, why do you segue to that one? I just said you look beautiful today, like right now, like amazing. Oh, also, every other day I look ugly? Is that what you're trying to tell me, Alex? It's like, no, I'm not at all. But okay, we're gonna go down this road. All right, let me buckle up.
Yeah, look, Jake is telling her cut it out. It's a sports show. Why are we
Oh,
going down
white
this
guy.
route?
Oh, white guy mentality. It's like, what is this? Talk about sports.
Yeah.
Give me stats.
But yeah, Shams looks a lot better after this situation. I hope people eat their crow. And Mr. Bernie Lee, look, you know, can't trust a word he says. Came out trying to crap on Shams. Now looks like a douche. But at least it's over. At least it's over.
Hey, it's one of those, like, it's done. And it hurts because you still, like, his teammates are still gonna love him. You know, you still love those players, and it's a different relationship when it's player to player. There's a different relationship when it's player to coach, and there's a different relationship when it's player to front office. That's why there's pieces that hold that together. Udonis was one of those pieces. Kevin Love is kind of getting into one of those pieces. Bam is kind of like your de facto face of the franchise, but the players are still going to love him. Some players are obviously going to be bothered by him because he gave up on them, and he fucked around and called out Spo when you don't do that. You don't call out your coach. So it's going to take time. Do I think the situation will repair itself and he will have his number retired eventually? Absolutely. I think there's a resolution to that. Time heals all.
Let me ask you a question. It's important.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
This, before I forget, would you still love Jamila if she was a bicycle?
Of course. Ride her all day.
There you go. Boom, got it.
Boom,
Very
boom.
nice. How much?
I like. I would give Wiggins 32. I got no problem giving. Remember, Shaq, they gave 32 to James Ennis. Shaq numbers was retired, so I will give Wiggins 22. But you know, it's all up to him.
Trying to see Jimmy Butler.
It's not like you're doing. It's not like you're doing it to spite him. Wiggins has always worn 22, so it's it's kind of like a natural move. So, but we'll see. We'll see. That's going to be a fun conversation. And mark your calendars. March 25th, Golden State comes to Miami.
That's what I was just going to tell you. There you go.
Oh yeah.
He'll make sure he'll be there March 25th. Golden State at Miami. So probably the return of Jimmy.
Yeah.
Anywho, Alex, any final thoughts before we wrap this one up?
There's one thing that I want to be a recliner.
Was I not good enough for you as a recliner?
Oh my God. It's a relief. It's many years. It's not many years. It's many months of dealing this back and forth, and kind of having an understanding, because obviously our basketball season is also over this year. We had a tumultuous season in regards to sometimes player personnel, relationships. So it's, even after our last game, it's also a deep breath of relief because it's a fresh start. In this regards, for them, it's kind of like a reset. And there's nothing more dangerous than an energized young team that is finding his identity. That is the most dangerous team in professional sports. when you have a young team that finds their identity and has clarity now. That clarity is key to success. People do not understand this.
Yeah.
Clarity is key to any team's success. And I think what you're going to see now is a whole different team in the second half, because that's it. This is done. The noise is done.
Yeah.
Everything is out the window. This is our team. This is who we have this year. It's us, and let's push through. Do not be surprised if Miami ends up third or fourth seed. So it's gonna be a fun ride. I want to see obviously how they incorporate Andrew Wiggins. It should be a seamless transition, but obviously there's gonna be some bumps in the road here and there. And with the rotations, Spo will get it right. The coaching staff will get it right. And I'm just praying for health. And obviously this weekend Super Bowl. We're looking forward to the commercials. Game outcome of the game, I really don't care. But it will be cool to see the Chiefs three-peat. It would be nice. It's never been done in the history of the sport. And it's a testament to the team of this generation. The Chiefs look like they can dominate. If Andy Reid stays on as coach, and that's another thing. If he wins, does he retire? But I think he already confirmed he's going to coach next year. But he's getting up there. But this team is just too good to walk away from, man.
Yeah, people are all worried about Belichick. It can end up being Andy Reid beats Shula's record, man.
The Chiefs are looking, and they find multiple ways to win. So they're young, their line is stacked, and you got Patrick Mahomes in his prime. This could be another decade run. So we'll see.
Crazy to see. We'll see this Sunday. Anyway, guys, appreciate you all tuning in. Kevin, Jamila, Tatiana, Constanza, Martel, everyone who was joining us tonight. Again, breaking news that Jimmy Butler, Georgette, Josh Wingate, Jimmy Butler traded to Golden State. Andrew Wiggins now in Miami Heat. Player with Kyle Anderson and PJ Tucker, and we got a first-round pick. We will continue to see what happens after tomorrow. Will any more moves be done? Probably around the NBA. Do we know with the Heat? We'll see. Until then, it's been awesome. Appreciate you guys all tuning in. Like and subscribe, and good night, Miami.
Peace.
Gringos in the house. Straight out of Hialeah, no doubt. East 10th Street, where we play out. Here we bring the Miami crowd. Alex, the boy with the B. Step into rhythm, feel the heat. Street vibes mixing with the Latin tree. In our flow, the two worlds meet.